Today, we have an important topic that many of us don't know much about. We are going to explore what happens when we put something in the recycling bin that shouldn't be there. But before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest episodes. Alright, let's dive right in. We all want to do our part to protect the environment, and recycling is a big part of that. But did you know that not all plastics are made equal? That's right, not all plastics can be recycled. In fact, some of them can't be recycled at all. You might be wondering why. Well, it has to do with their chemical makeup, contamination, or mixed materials that machines can't separate. And no, those plastic bags that you've been putting in your recycling bin, they're probably not helping the environment after all. So if you are ready to learn more and help save the planet one plastic bag at a time, keep watching. In this episode, we will look at why some plastics can't be recycled. Some plastics are tough to recycle because of their material composition. Let's break it down. Some plastics are mixed with other materials that can't be recycled, like paper and metals. And others are made from materials that are hard to break down, like polystyrene, styrofoam, and polycarbonate. And then there's plastic bags and films made from polyethylene. They might be recyclable in some places, but often get tangled in recycling machinery. Next up, contamination. If non-recyclable items end up in the recycling bin, they can mess up the whole batch. Food residue, sticky substances, greasy pizza boxes, oh no, they all make recycling difficult. And that multi-layer packaging you see on many products, well, it's usually not recyclable because separating the layers is a real headache. But wait, there's more. Plastic waste can also be rejected because it's mixed with the wrong stuff. It's a big no-no to mix plastics with metals, glass, or paper. These materials need to be separated for proper recycling. And here's the bottom line. When we try to recycle the wrong things, it costs taxpayers money. Municipalities end up spending on cleaning and disposing of the non-recyclable waste. It's a win-lose situation. The recycling process becomes more expensive and valuable resources get wasted. So now that we understand why some plastics can't be recycled, let's look at some common culprits that often end up in the recycling bin. Plastic bags, those flimsy FOs, they may seem recyclable, but they often jam up recycling machines, causing huge headaches. Plus, they're usually contaminated with food residue, making them even more problematic. So even though some places do collect plastic bags for recycling, it's not a guarantee. Instead, consider reusing them or using reusable bags when you go shopping. Styrofoam, that lightweight wonder material, it's not just hard to recycle, but it also takes up a lot of space in landfills. And let's face it, nobody wants to see a styrofoam cup taking up space in a landfill. So the best option is to avoid it altogether and opt for paper or reusable cups instead. Plastic cutlery, convenient and portable, but not so recyclable. Made from different types of plastic, they often end up in the wrong recycling bins and can't be properly processed. Plus, they're usually contaminated with food residue. So what can we do? Well, consider ditching disposable cutlery altogether and investing in a good set of reusable cutlery instead. It's better for the environment and your wallet in the long run. Wrappers and multi-layer packaging, oh, those pesky little guys. They may be great at preserving our snacks, but they're a pain to recycle. Those multiple layers of plastic and other materials make it hard to break them down, and they often end up in landfills. So what can we do? Well, try to avoid products with excessive packaging and, when possible, reuse the containers for other purposes. Now that we know about some of the most common plastic culprits, let's talk about what happens when we recycle them anyway. First off, it can cause serious problems at recycling facilities. Plastic bags can get tangled in sorting equipment, and other non-recyclable items can contaminate the recycling stream, making the whole batch unusable. This means that valuable materials like paper and metals end up in the trash, which is not only wasteful, but also costly. And then there's the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Yes, that infamous collection of plastic waste in the ocean. It is estimated to be over 1 million square kilometers in size and contains millions of tons of plastic. While most of the debris is not recyclable, the patch serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of improper disposal. Finally, the financial burden. When we try to recycle non-recyclable items, it costs taxpayers money. Municipalities have to pay for the cleanup and disposal of contaminated materials, which ultimately raises our taxes or reduces public services. Nobody wants that. Now that we know the problems, let's talk about the solutions. The first and most effective way to deal with non-recyclable plastics is to simply reduce our consumption. We can start by making small changes in our daily lives, such as switching to reusable bags, bottles, and containers. These simple swaps can make a big difference and help reduce the amount of plastic waste we generate. You can also reuse plastic items instead of throwing them away. Get creative and turn those plastic containers into storage boxes, pencil holders, or even planters. With a little imagination, you can give new life to those plastic items and reduce the demand for single-use plastics. But what if you can't recycle or reuse plastic? No problem. You can always dispose of it responsibly. Check with your local waste management services for guidelines on how to handle specific types of plastics. Some companies even have plastic take-back programs. So don't throw those plastics in the trash. Find out where and how to dispose of them properly. Alright, we made it to the end of another recycling adventure. Remember, knowing the rules of recycling can help keep our planet green. By understanding what can and can't be recycled, we can reduce waste and protect the environment. Now it's time for you to join the movement. Share this video with your friends and family so they can learn about recycling too. Together we can make a difference. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more exciting episodes. Thanks for joining us on this recycling journey. Until next time, stay curious and keep recycling right. We'll catch you later. Wow, that was a wild ride through the world of recycling. It is clear that not all plastics are created equal, and some of the things we thought were recyclable actually aren't. But don't worry, we're all in this together, and every small step we take makes a big difference. By reducing our consumption of single-use plastics, reusing items whenever possible, and disposing of non-recyclable plastics responsibly, we can all do our part to protect the environment. It is important to remember that mistakes happen, and it is not the end of the world if you accidentally put something in the wrong bin. The important thing is to learn from those mistakes and keep trying to do better. So the next time you reach for that plastic bag, water bottle, or food container, think about whether it's something you really need and if it can be reused or recycled. By making small changes in our daily lives, we can make a big difference for the planet. And hey, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family so they can learn about recycling too. Together, we can make a difference. So until next time, keep recycling, right? And remember that every small step counts. See you later.